Someone told me they had seen a show on EWTN. I can't actually confirm or deny this, but it sounds about right. A friend was telling me when the Devil's Advocate was called to Ignatius of Loyola's canonization after he was dead, they just dismissed it because everyone all over Europe knew he had grievously broken all 10 commandments with numerous mortal sins before his conversion.
Yes.
They just got rid of it. And I think someone like him who had led such a horrible life, whether that story is true or not, everybody knows he'd lived a pretty horrible life.
Mm-hmm.
Then he meditates on hell, almost commits suicide in the cave of Manresa because he just doesn't know how he could be forgiven.
Wow.
Then God gives him these interior lights, infuses the entire Catholic faith into him at this river next to Manresa. And he sees that if someone like him is being saved from the hell he's meditated on, everything comes down to the salvation of souls.
Yes.
And this is why he founded arguably the greatest missionary order, is because he saw hell in his own life. He saw the divine mercy of Jesus. He saw what could be brought. And when he lit up people like Francis Xavier to say, go light the whole world on fire, none of these guys believed Jesus was a way, a truth, a life. They all believed Jesus was the way, the truth, and the life. And
Yes.
this was very similar in the life of Archbishop Lefebvre. And this stands at total odds with modernist ecumenism, right? And so this is where salvation of souls really comes down to our discussion today. And the missionary life is Jesus the way and the truth and the life, or is ecumenism the way?
Yes.
Now, people will say, no, but in ecumenism, people are still saved by Jesus. You can play loophole games like that, but practically, you're not holding that if you're holding to ecumenism.
Exactly.
Did Jesus die to save us from hell and establish the Catholic Church, or should we go worship at the family center of Abu Dhabi that you talked about yesterday?
Exactly.
Because if Jesus isn't God, if we can hang our hats on Arianism, then you can go to any of those three houses in Abu Dhabi and be saved. What do you think Ignatius of Loyola, you know what Francis Xavier did in India? He went in to Hindu temples and knocked down their idols. That's what the first Jesuits did.
Yeah.
Now, he also gained advance because when they were about to kill him, he raised the dead in the whole town because the miracle became Catholic. So we don't have those miracles happening. But that's what the initial Jesuits thought of idols.
Yes.
What do our current Jesuits think of idols?
They bring them right on in.
Bring them on in.
Pachamama.
Pachamama versus Francis Xavier.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. And think about if you held what a modernist ecumenical priest or bishop holds now. God has sprinkled the grace of pixie dust all throughout the universe, and there's the lesser lights that Bishop Barron talks about. Jesus is only the privileged way, not the way. Would you, if you were Francis Xavier, would you really get on a boat and go all the way around the world and then die on a beach in China?
Exactly.
With the goal to baptize people. Baptism. Unless you are born of water and the Holy Spirit, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. It wasn't this anonymous Christianity. It wasn't like, dare we hope that all men be saved, or this very loose, implicit baptism by desire. Like, well, he once had a good thought that counts for baptism.
Right.
The Karl Rahner, Hans Kung version of all this stuff, they believed there are children, men, and women in Indonesia, India, China, Japan, and they need the waters of baptism.
That's right.
And I have a hand.
I'm going to use it.
And I'm going to go, and I'm going to preach and baptize. And same with all the Jesuits who came to North America.
That's right.